Ben's obviously a very talented player, okay? And that skill set allows you to do a lot of creative things that maybe you can't necessarily do with everyone, or everybody's on a different point in their development. So it's a little bit more of a relationship, like a partnership, that you get to ask him for input on things that he likes or things that you think he can do, and you get to craft some things to him. So it's pretty awesome, and it's probably pretty similar to what relationship guys in the NFL have with professional athletes, in that they are a little bit more partners as opposed to you do what I tell you to. Does that make sense? So it's great.
The kind of running joke with him was that he was a blocking tight end when he first got here.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's proven that wrong. When do you remember the first time thinking, hey, this guy can really catch the ball, too?
Well, he did it a lot in practice, and he made all those plays that came on at the end of the year. He had a big game against Oklahoma, but he made those plays at the end of the year, in particular in the Baylor game. And he made those in practice over and over again, especially through fall camp. And we'd sit in there as a staff, and our receivers coach at the time, Thad Ward, would make comments about get number 34 the ball, and I would shoot him down, jokingly. But those opportunities just showed up in a game late in the year, and just continued to build on. I think his confidence really took off at that point, because it is the opportunity to show it in a live setting.
The amount of 12 personnel that you guys run, how well are the 2 and 3 guys getting adjusted?
You know, we have a very talented, very deep group, okay? And those guys have come a long ways. Will Swanson last year sat in kind of a third role because we had Sammy Wheeler as a 6-year player with a lot of experience. And so Sammy kind of kept him off the field a good amount. So Swanson has come along. He's taken a lot of reps. He's been in the program since 2020. Garrett Oakley and Braden Lofton are also coming along very strong. And then we have fullback Christian Moore, who also continues to show up and do good work. And so between those guys, we've got a good group, plus the incoming freshmen, Andrew Metzger and Will Ancio. And so we've got a good unit. And they've been pretty well developed.
Cat's out of the bag with Ben. It feels like maybe last year he surprised a few people, and he's not going to surprise anybody this year, probably.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate. I think that he still is just one player, and we have a whole team, and they're going to have to defend guys like Will Howard and DJ Giddens and Keegan Johnson and Phillip Brooks. And I think that he's still going to have his opportunities. It's not just something you can stop Ben Sinnott and you'll stop the Cats.
How has the tight end position evolved with the newer offense for you guys?
Yeah, you know, I would say the evolution of it has been that these guys are legitimate receiving threats, and you have to respect them in the passing game, and if you don't, we're going to be able to make you pay for it.
Do you still coach all your tight ends to play fullback too, or is that kind of been phased out?
You know, actually, we do spend a good amount of time doing that. I would say from a teaching progression, a lot of it bases out of understanding what to do as a fullback. And if you can do that, then you can move around and be a lot more moving parts. You're not always on the line of scrimmage in a 3-point stance blocking defensive ends. We move those guys all over the place. And so their skill sets are more merged, right? It's not a 6 offensive lineman out there at tight end, and it's not just a true in the backfield fullback. It's something in between. And so those guys have a little bit of a hybrid position.
How good is the relationship between Ben and Will? It seems like those guys are pretty tight.
Will Howard?
Yeah.
Really, really strong. Really strong. I think all those guys that were freshmen in that 2020 group, I think they're really close and bonded. They've been through a lot of adversity together, and they're a strong group.
What's impressed you the most about Metzger and Ancio so far?
About those guys?
Yeah.
They're talented young players, okay? They're very intelligent. They're working really, really hard. And I think they've got great physical dimensions that help them in that aspect. But the biggest thing is that they care, and they're conscientious, and they go about their work. I look out there, we have meetings, and they've got their notepads, and it's just filled with writing. It doesn't mean they're always right about what they're doing, but they care. And so they come into it every single day with a great attitude. They work their butt off, and they really try to figure out what they're supposed to do.
Was there a specific trait that kind of attracted you to Metzger? Because he was kind of a late decision to add him.
Yeah, well, so it was kind of more of roster availability than anything. Andrew was someone we knew about in the spring of his junior year. And we were very far into recruiting Will Ancio. Will is a great player, in-state kid, someone we were very high on and been recruiting for a long time. And so when Will committed, we didn't think we were going to have a spot. And a little bit different here than maybe everywhere else, we really are trying to avoid oversigning kids in a recruiting class. We don't want to promise a kid a spot on the team and then all of a sudden find out we have someone coming back for another year, and then, hey, you know what, we have to hold off. We don't want to do that. We want to make offers so that they can commit. And so Andrew's spot didn't come available until late in the fall. And so told Andrew in the spring, listen, we may come back in the fall, talk to you some more. We got about midway through the year, thought maybe there's a possibility, started to talk to Andrew Moore, had him come to campus, and then offered him those last 2 weeks and had him on an official visit. So he got recruited a lot longer than the offer was on the table.